Well, welcome to this week's episode from MedicareTeam.com. First podcast I've been on, so I'm excited to be here. My name is Jeff Husser. I'm the founder of MedicareTeam.com, and I am blessed to be sitting here by my son, Joshua. And I have another son, Joel, behind the camera, working the audio visual today. So welcome to the podcast and welcome, Joshua.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
We're excited to be here. Today, we're going to get into some topics and really one core topic. And we're going to talk a little bit about legacy and MedicareTeam.com and why it's so important for you as our client or potential client to know what we're about to go through. So today we're going to go into first, why MedicareTeam.com? Why did we start this business as a family business? Why are we building a legacy within the business for ourselves, but also then with the community of the agents that are a part of our team, our clients, in every aspect, whether it's audio visual, behind the camera now, customer support, our director of operations, however it might go as the business grows, we're building this Medicare team. So let's get into that today. First, Joshua, let's talk about the core mission statement of Medicare Team, which is serving seniors with integrity.
Yes.
Why don't you just talk to us a little bit about why that's so important for you, and then also why it's important for our clients, and not just that, actually, we'll get into later, like why is it important for people who are working with us at MedicareTeam.com, but start with why is it important for you?
Well, it's very important for me just because the senior population can be one of the most targeted populations out there when it comes to being taken advantage of, trying to be tricked or scams. And having integrity is such a big thing when serving our seniors. It's very, very important to me that everyone within our organization, everyone who works with us is serving our seniors with integrity because that's how we should be serving our seniors.
Right. We should be honoring.
Yeah.
Right. And walking in integrity. And you brought up a great point. I know within our family, myself now becoming a senior too, there's a lot of things out there that are very scammy, or phone calls that come in, or mailers
Yeah.
people get, really TV, radio, like internet. Anywhere you go, it's hard to find things that are really real nowadays, especially if you're sitting at home in your car, wherever you're listening to this, and you're looking for somebody to trust with your healthcare needs. It's probably one of the most, if not the most important decision at a certain stage of life. So integrity is pretty important
Yeah.
for us. Yeah. Why is it important for our team?
It is important for our team because we can actually, sleep at night, be proud of what we do.
That's a good thing.
There's so many people out there, especially in this space with health insurance, that all they care about is what they're going to be getting off the side of the deal, not caring about what our clients and what our seniors are going to be benefiting from. So it's always good to be coming to a company who's going to put your needs first. If there's no gain, no benefit for you, we're not going to force you into anything. If you're going to benefit from it, we're not even going to mention it if there's no benefit for you.
Yeah.
That's
Even this morning, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
In our huddle, we always get together first thing in the morning, just check in with everybody. How's everybody doing? And talk about the day. And one of the things we talked about today was making sure we're doing what's best for our client always. And we're walking with integrity, and we're building relationship for the long term. So when somebody's working with us at MedicareTeam.com, it's not just for a moment or a phone call, or if you're in our office, we see each of our clients as really family, right?
Yeah.
As family, and we want to treat them as if they are our family, and that's something we talked about today. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, that's why we have such strict rules here. Every single person, before they go into training to be able to learn how to help y'all, we make it very clear, like, if they mislead you, if they misguide you, it's a punishable by firing, first offense.
I would even stop
Yeah,
before that. Like when first interview,
it's first offense.
it's number
yeah.
one, character integrity. That's what we're sniffing out. And if
Yeah.
it's not there, they're not going to be a part of Medicare team in any capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's found out at all, like, we make it very clear, if it's found out at all that someone's misleading anyone, it's a fireable offense first time. We don't take it lightly. You need to have integrity if you're going to be part of the Medicare team.
It reminds me of my son's involved with the business here and family. Growing up, there was always a non-negotiable in our household. and that non-negotiable is there is no lying, and that's always a punishable offense. There wasn't much mercy.
That was the worst offense out of everything we could have done was lying. We do anything, we could burn the house down, but it's not as bad of a punishment we're gonna get as if we lied about it.
Yeah, there's actually truth in that. You can always replace a house, you can replace things, but once you compromise integrity, character, it's something once it's done, it's done. So,
Yeah.
yes, you can rebuild all those types of things, but it was that important in our household. It's that important in this house of Medicare team. It's that important for our clients. So, let's segue into our core values of a Medicare team. Integrity is the first one. We've already talked
Yeah.
about that. Let's chat a little bit about compassion.
Compassion. It's definitely very important just as a motivator that we all have compassion for the people we're serving.
Mhm.
Especially those not every senior is going to be like this, but there is a lot of seniors out there who just really don't have any family. A lot of times they've spent all that they have and they're just pretty I'll say helpless in a way, in a sense. And just having the compassion to be able to help them it can really drive you to go the extra mile when you're on calls with people, when you're in meetings. It's a really good motivator. It's better than how much money you're gonna make. It's better than all the other factors you might wanna do it. It's just having a compassion that's gonna drive you to the top level of service too, if you really have compassion and care about, the people that we're working with.
Yeah, and I'll
Mhm,
even take it a step further. So that's compassion with who we're working with our clients, but also as a
mhm,
company, what drives our business a lot is James 127, taking care of the widow and the orphan. Every business we've owned and we're a part of, that's been our core focus, whatever we're doing in business. So a lot of that is driven by compassion, seeing people, those who are in need. So as we're growing our businesses and
mhm.
growing the legacy of what we're doing, we're always giving back. And a lot of that's motivated by compassion. So it's really important in a lot of areas of our life, not just with our clients, but hey, let's get into the next one because we could talk about, actually, we could do a episode on each of these. We could actually talk
Yeah,
a long time about these. But compassion is really, really important when dealing with our clients, when dealing with our team too, right? Like
yeah,
if our team, and that's one thing, whoever's going to watch this, yes, it might be a client, it might be a prospective person who wants to work with us on our team, but all of the core values we're going through right now, it affects our clients and it
mhm.
affects our team and it affects the future of both. Having compassion as well with our team is important. Let's get into the next one. Core value is teamwork. Might as well. We just talked about
Yeah.
team. Why is teamwork so important here with what we're doing at Medicare team and the legacy of what's being built here?
Well, teamwork is so important just for sharing experience, sharing knowledge, sharing wisdom, working together in an environment that's fun. It all affects the quality of service. Like I said before, if you're a team, if we're all working together as a team, now it's just not one person alone trying to figure everything out. You have everyone to be able to bounce things off of each other. And whether that's ideas, if someone's in a difficult situation and someone doesn't know how to handle it, they can go get advice from someone who's been in that situation before.
Yeah, that's
So
huge.
having a larger network of people to be able to share a larger vast of knowledge and wisdom is going to help us make the right recommendations for the people that we're going to be serving.
And I hear that a lot. And one of the things we do with Medicare team and our team, the beginning of the day or end of the day, we share wins. We share things that we've learned. We call it the 1%. Like, what's one area you got 1% better at? What did you learn? I just was listening to TJ, who's one of our agents, and I was helping a client after about an hour, 30 minutes, helping them. Excuse me. And my first question coming out of that was just, what did you learn from that? How were we able to help the client? How were we able to honor them? But what did you learn from that? And what happens then is exactly what you just shared, which is teamwork. Because
Yeah.
as a TJ sharing, other of our team are around listening, we'll coach on that, we'll train, and that's huge. And even what I see happening from that is like we're building a team to help our clients, but then what we actually see reciprocated is our clients actually will wind up referring people to us, their team, if you will,
Mhm.
um, their family, friends, neighbors, cousins, because they sense the teamwork that we have. People feel compelled oftentimes, even without our asking, just to start referring people to us because we believe so much in teamwork.
Well, they
Um,
believe that they can get help.
well,
They're
that
like,
helps.
"Hey, these people really helped me out, and I think they could help you out too."
Yeah, and I love to like something I'll hear often is because we don't all have all the answers, and one of the core values is integrity. We already said that. So if we're dealing with a client and we don't know the answer, we're not going to make something up. We're going to say this is has to do with teamwork. Ma'am, sir, would you mind holding? Or if we're in a meeting in our office, I'm going to go get somebody who's an expert there and can help us answer that question correctly. That goes back to some of the other core values we talked about, but teamwork really helps with that because we do have we have people that are, experts in Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement. I'm dealing with chronic needs, chronic illnesses, long-term care, cancer, heart,
Mhm.
stroke. So we have leaders, people who can help, and that's a core value of ours is teamwork. So hey,
Mhm.
why don't we go into the next one here? I see on my screen, which is no gossip as a core
Yeah.
value.
Well, that's, it's part of almost teamwork in a way, but it's hard to really build quality relationships with people, respect your team if you're going to be talking about them behind their back, um, in a way that just doesn't honor them. That isn't like for making decisions in the business, it's just talking about someone for the heck of gossiping.
Right.
It's just something it doesn't have integrity in it, and it's just not a good thing to do.
So we're not going to gossip with each other or our clients, right? So that's another
Yeah.
part of it. So we get off a call because sometimes there's confidential information that is shared on phone calls. We do record every call for quality assurance and make sure that things are done correctly, but we're also going to protect the privacy and confidentiality by not going and gossiping. Oh, I imagine, and I mean, heck, I've been in places where there's a lot of that goes on, but here it's a core for us for no gossip. Which, it goes back to if you're listening to the podcast and you're working with us in some capacity, maybe you're a client of ours, maybe you're a vendor, and maybe you're joining the team or on our team, whatever, but it's a non-negotiable. Again, we're not going to gossip, and it creates a safe environment. Again, because we're helping seniors, right, with integrity and what we're doing, but we're creating an environment where there's not all this gossip, there's not all this competitiveness that's tearing down each other. You're going to enter an environment that's actually going to be very focused on finding the best details of what's necessary, getting
Mhm.
you the most help. That goes to the compassion thing. We have fun while we're doing what we're
Yeah.
doing. And we're going to make sure that we do the best job of any Medicare agency that you could work with. We're going to be the best. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about it. You're going to work with us long term. So we're going to cover you in all four of those areas. So that's no gossip. So let's talk about being driven. That's also a core value of Medicare team.
Well, yeah, being driven, like I said, almost with compassion, is being driven allows us to go help more people, be more driven to learn more, to keep going, to work in excellence. So, being very driven, it can definitely be very helpful for our team. It can also be very helpful as well for those who are working with us. And like I said, it gives better quality of service because we're not just going to be sitting around being lazy. We're going to actually be there helping you, responding to your questions. It becomes out as better service to you as
Yeah.
a client.
Yeah. We're driven to get the best result possible for our clients, not
Mhm.
just on an initial consultation but year after year after year. I mean, one of the things we do with Medicare team as you become a client is Medicare is always changing. Learn that. It's
Yeah.
always changing. It's federally regulated. So year to year, things change. And I don't think there's ever been a year where that's not been the case. So being driven for our team to stay on top of those changes, one of the things we offer our clients is every year we do an annual review for them. No cost, no charge. We just go back through their unique situation. What are their medications? Has anything changed? Have any doctors changed? Any
Yeah.
specialists? So we'll go through all that, but you have to be very driven to stay on top. And as the leadership with Medicare team, we are driven to make sure our agents are on top of every detail that matters for our clients. We have continuing education, things we're always doing to help make sure that happens as well. We're not here today, gone tomorrow. That's why legacy is important. That's why it's a family business. It's why we work. But being driven is really important. I've dealt with enough people in whether it's somebody working on my car to help me with my health insurance. When you deal with people that aren't driven, it usually leads to a pretty bad result,
Yeah.
regardless of what they tell you. Just always watch the fruit, as we talk about sometimes. So, all right, service, one of our core values here at MedicareTeam.com. Let's talk about service today.
We come in with a servant, almost like a servant leadership mentality where we lead by serving.
Yeah.
So we're putting your needs ahead of ours. We're going to do what's in your best interest. And that's really probably one of the key things that we need to be doing as licensed professionals is serving people, not just using people. Like a lot of people out there can be, as part of having integrity
Yeah.
is that we're going to serve you. We're going to serve you like you would be our family, like you'd be my grandmother, like you'd be your
Well, if I'm your
mother.
grandmother, that's kind of weird, but all right, keep
Yeah.
going.
Your mother, like you'd be family. We're not just going to talk to you once and forget about you. We're going to keep up the relationship together and we're going to work together in a way that's mutually beneficial to both parties.
Yeah, it reminds me of I'll share a quick story here on service, but when I first met your mom, I was living in Pennsylvania. She's in Texas, and we got to know each other over the phone. That's before like FaceTime. And yes, I'm older, but I had her as a guest with some people that I worked with in business on a phone call, and she was just talking. She did a great job. I was like, I like this girl.
Didn't she just like close a house or something
Yeah,
and just had a little bit too much to drink?
she had just sold a large getting real. She was a little loose with but no, she was really inspirational in that. Wow, let's just get right to it.
No, not that she's a drinker. She just doesn't have any alcohol tolerance, a few sips. And she's,
Yes.
yeah.
But one of the things, it was kind of interesting because we got done. I had a call with her afterward and I sent her a note in the mail. And I didn't even know what it meant out at the time. I believe it's I'm not going to quote it exactly, but there's a scripture in the Bible that says the greatest shall be the least and the least shall be the greatest. I wasn't a Christian at the time. I just sent it to her. But it really is always important to me. I'm a Christian now, but um, service was a big deal to me, like taking care of people in business from an early age. So that's service. All right. Time is moving quickly, moving fast. What else do we have today to talk about? What
Um,
stories do you have about service or integrity or anything that you'd want to share with people today?
well, trying to think here.
I know our clients always come first. We always do what's best for our client. There's been, I could share a story. We always do what's best for our client. There's been many places where we could have, sold somebody on
Yeah,
getting involved with a policy or something. But I hear stories like that from people every day. In fact, just today, Josh was not you, Josh, another
other
Josh in our
Josh, yeah.
office was talking and sharing a story. And I've heard him share other stories like that, but where you know, um, we could have put them on this plan or they could have got this, but it wasn't the best interest for that client.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. Like when somebody interacts with us, we're always going to do our best to make sure that they're in the best position to succeed. So, yeah, what other thoughts do you have for today's? What's on your mind right now? What's going on?
well, crickets.
Well, crickets can be
No,
entertaining.
uh, yeah, back on the service, yeah, there's been lots of times where that same situation happens with me whenever I was doing selling actively and helping people actively on the floor. Yeah, a lot of situations where it's just they're in the best situation and we just part ways as friends. And also lots of times where it's not like there's going to be a sale for me as an agent, but I'm still going to be there, spend a few minutes helping you understand what's going on as a client, even if it's not going to benefit me at all.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And I mean, I think that's key as we work with people is our mindset is long term. We are looking to create value year after year after year. On those annual reviews where it's so important, cuz as we age, right? I was exercising today and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, my right shoulder a little bit different than it used to be." I'm not on any medications right now in my life and thank God for that. But,
yeah.
as we get older, our situations change. I know my dad, my mom, as I watch them age and still watch them age, like the prescriptions can change, the need of doctors can change, but they moved, right? So there's so many things that can disrupt disrupt their service, their plan, all those types of things. So it's
Yeah.
really critical when you're partnering up with a team like Medicare Team .com to make sure you're with somebody who's with you for the long haul. And I think that's the main reason why on this podcast we just wanted to get into core values and mission and serving seniors with integrity and going through all of our core values because it's important for our clients, but it's equally as important for our team. It's equally as important for our community and for the impact that we have as we give back. So yeah, I wanted to just thank you for your time today, Joshua. I want to thank all of our team, Joel's
Mhm.
behind the camera on the audio, and our team here at MedicareTeam.com. We really do value you as a client. If you're a client, if you're just learning or you've been on one of our webinars and you have more questions, just reach out. How do people reach out to us, Joshua?
They can reach out using we have a phone line. It should be on the website.
I see it right here, but
Got
on
it here.
MedicareTeam.com. And if you go to MedicareTeam.com/free, we can do a consultation for free. Just see where you're at. We deal with a lot of people right now, too, who are turning 65, which I know that's not the point of this episode today, but it really is. Like if you're just turning 65,
That's the most crucial
working,
time.
yeah, it's the most crucial time to work with a company that has core values like ours. And we're not the
Yeah.
only company that walks with these core values. Well, I don't know. I've not looked if people have the same as us. Go ahead.
Yeah, turning 65 is the most important time because there's some decisions you're going to be able to make when you turn 65 that you're never going to be able or have the opportunity to make again in your life. So it's very important at that crucial time that you get professional consultation just to see what your options are.
Yeah, that's great. So if
So,
that's you or
yeah.
wherever you're at, we're here to help serve your needs. We thank you so much for your time today, and we'll see you on the next episode of the MedicareTeam.com podcast. Thank you.